What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Neheb the Worthy. We're gonna play first. Let's get the chat all closed out. See what we're playing. We've got Omnath, Locus of Rage. Okay, get behind that. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got Swamp, Marsh Flats, got Cover of Darkness, and Anger. Yeah, we're gonna keep on this one. Sounds like a plan. Hopefully, we can blast some of their early mana dorks if they get some out there, and then we'll kind of go from there. But yes, hope you have your Minotaur helmet on. Some nice little horns. I do. It's interfering with my mic headset, but we'll make it work. No, I don't have horns on. I wish I did, though. That'd be pretty cool. I definitely, if I had Minotaur in a helmet with like little horns on it, yeah, man, I would. So I'd even have to get a little camera in there for you. So anyway, all right, let's go and get the marsh flats down. That's enough of that. Let's go and crack. We'll just go and grab a what is it? Drawing a blank on that one. Blood Crypt. There we go. Put it in play tap. Not going to pay that. Nope. And we'll just go and pass the turn. So, we're playing Neheb the Worthy. He has first strike. Other Minotaurs you control have first strike. Then, as long as you have one or fewer cards in your hand, Minotaurs you control get +2/+0, and then whenever he deals combat damage with player, each player discards a card. We'll cover what Omnath does in just a second. So, let's go and get the Swamp down. Let's go and go Cover of Darkness. We only have really one Minotaur right now, and that's Neheb. Yeah, let's go and go Cover of Darkness. That way we can at least get the swinging in, get that discard trigger up and running. Minotaur, not Minion. There we go. Alright, so we're going to name Minion, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. So as far as Cover of Darkness goes, we're going to name a creature type when it enters the battlefield. So we also, I played a game earlier where we had Pack Rat out, and it had a bunch of Pack Rats, so we actually named a rat off this Cover of Darkness. But for the most part, Cover of Darkness, you're going to name Minotaur. That way we can at least get Neheb swinging in, and then when we find some of our other Minotaurs, we can get that up and running. Let's go get the mountain down. Let's go ahead and go for Neheb. I'm okay with that. So looking at colorless, then black, then red. And then we'll go ahead and pass the turn. Okay, as far as the next turn goes, our opponent got done a Kiln Fiend, which is interesting in an Omnath deck. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +3 until end of turn. So, yeah, I have an Omnath deck, and it's a little bit more ramp focused, but yeah, definitely interesting take on it. Okay, Goblin Bombardment. Yes, I'm very much aware of that card. And then, as far as the next turn goes, we can go for Anger. It's going to have haste. We can swing in for 4. It's going to put him down to 26. We may end up going for that. I think that sounds like a plan. Fiery Temper. Okay, let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. So we could blast the Kiln Fiend if you want to. Now let's go and go for Anger. That way if something happens to it, we can get it in the graveyard. We do have the Mountain. It's going to give the rest of our creatures haste. And then we're not really under any sort of really early ramp pressure from our opponent, so I'm okay with this right now. Let's go and swing in hot for 2. Swing in for 4. It's going to be 2 creatures. Put them down to 26. It's going to be 2 total commander damage. Okay, and each of us is going to have to discard a card. Let's go ahead and chunk the... I think we're okay with chunking the big game Hunter right now. Well, we could go for Rogue's Passage. Yeah, do we want to hold on to big game Hunter? They're pretty far away from Omnath, so... But we don't have anything to do for the land drop, so let's go and get rid of Rogue's Passage. I'm okay with that. We do have Cover of Darkness. That way we can still hold on to Big Game Hunter, and we can swing in next turn if they get some bigger creature out there, and we can blast it, or we have access to the Fiery Temper where we can just Lightning Bolt our opponent or target creature for 3 damage, so off the Neheb trigger. But yeah, as far as the deck goes, we're running Minotaur Tribal in here as the focus, and then outside of that, we're running some nice little red-black value creatures. We have stuff like Pack Rat, like I hit on earlier, and we have a few creatures that, actually, let me kind of pull my deck list up. We have a few other creatures that we're running in here that allow us to discard a bunch of cards so where we can get into spots where we can have that active +2, +0. And then we have a few Triumph of the Hordes. Okay. Get +1, Game Trample, and Infect. So we're looking at how much Infect coming across. Looking at 5. Yeah, what we can go and do on this one is next turn we can swing in. Just in case there's another something Infect, we can just go and go for this Fiery Temper off the Madness cost whenever we swing in with Neheb. So I'm okay with that. So we're going to have 5 Infect, and I'll kind of cover what we got going on Minotaurs in just a second. But yeah, it's been a fun deck so far. It's a little funny sometimes. It's hard to get Neheb online, but when the stars align, it is a really fun deck. So definitely enjoyed my time playing with it. Get into Rakdos Return. Let's go and swing in. Come in hot for 4. That's going to be 2 more commander damage. Put them down to 22. And then we're going to go and go for that Fiery Temper with the Madness cost on that one. And take care of the Kiln. I don't know if they have more Infect in there, but at least we'll go and take care of it. We are at 29, so let's go and cast it for its Madness cost. We're going to choose the King Field. There we go. Okay, take care of that. And now we're looking at, we could just cast Big Game Hunter right now, just to have a 1/1 body, but I'd rather hold on to it in the hand. We do have Kolagon's Command. As far as we don't have any creature cards in the graveyard. So if we do go for Kolaghan's Command, let's say they get an artifact ramp out, a mana rock out there or something, we can blow that artifact up and deal 2 damage up top, put them down to 20. Okay, so we've got Eternal Witness. See if they're going to turn. Could return the Triumph of the Hordes to their hand. That'd definitely be an option. They're at 1 card in hand, so we can actually get into spots where if we swing in with Neheb, they deal that combat damage, then we can make them discard that card if we don't want to play around it and take care of Eternal Witness. So, or if we just go for a straight up Rakdos return, they're going to take 2 and then lose 2 life. I think we may end up going for that one. I actually like that play a little bit better. But we'll see. We'll see what we draw into. Draw Terramorphic Expanse. Let's go and get that down. So we're looking at Rakdos return for 2. They're going to take 2. They're going to get rid of the Stampede in the hand, that we can swing it with Neheb. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for that. Choosing our opponent, we're looking at black, red, and then 2. I'd like to pop this for more, but at least I like getting rid of that creature they want to get back in their hand, so that we don't really have to worry about any more Trample Infect coming across if they get into a quick little Omnath. Okay, so let's go and swing in hot for 4. And what we can do is we can go ahead and actually discard the Big Game Hunter, because we can activate, we can cast Kolaghan's Command and return it back to the hand. Or with Anger in the graveyard, that's fair enough. Okay, they're going to trade right there. That's going to give all of our creatures haste now that Anger's in the graveyard, which is actually pretty good. Each going to discard a card. Yeah, let's go ahead and go Big Game Hunter. Not going to cast it, no, we're good. Okay, goes into the graveyard. Anything else we need to do? We'll probably just go ahead and crack this Terramorphic Expanse, and we do get in for 4. That's 6 total commander damage. Let's go ahead and crack this. We do have some triple red spells in here, and since we already have access to 3 black mana, let's go ahead and grab a mountain off this Terramorphic Expanse. So we untap, we're going to have 5 mana next turn. There we go. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and pass turn. So, worst comes to worst, next turn, we do have Kolaghan's Command. We can cast that and keep the active bonus for Neheb. And then we still have Kolaghan's Command bringing a creature back out of the graveyard. So if they get into a spot where somehow they get down Omnath, well, they're passing the turn. I will take that. And let's go ahead and go to keep Neheb online. Let's go and go Kolaghan's Command. Target player discards a card and 2 damage to target creature or player. Let's choose them up top. So we're going to black, red. That way they discard whatever card they held onto, they'll have to discard it, and then we can just, if we get rid of the Petrifier, I'm okay with that. Warstorm Surge, okay. Alright, so we're going to swing in for 4. That's going to be 10 total commander damage, put them down to 12, and hopefully they just stay off of not being able to get down Omnath, so they'll kind of help us close it out. Okay, each discard a card, no card in the hand. Anything else we want to do? No, we're going to go and pass turn. But yeah, so in Neheb, there's different times where, and now that I'm thinking about that, we could actually sequence that a little bit better. We could have gone Kolaghan's Command and return a creature back to our hand, and we'd have had them still discard that card. So, well, I guess we could have done a main phase. Doesn't really matter. Drawn 2 Vandal Blast. Now, we'll go and swing in. That's going to be 4 more commander damage. Put them down to 8, so technically on like a 2-turn clock to close it out. I'll take that. Each discard card, we're going to lose Vandal Blast, but there's no creatures out there, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, so the deck itself, you get into these spots to where you're just kind of just going hellbent. You have no cards in hand, you're making sure your opponent has no cards in hand. And then there's other times where I played it where we just had a really nice board state up and developed, where we were swinging in with a lot of creatures. Like I had Pack Rat earlier, and I think we activated it 2 or 3 times, and Pack Rat's just really good in this deck. Okay, so we draw for the turn, draw a Whip of Erebos. Let's go and get that down, that way we don't have to discard it, and we'll still have the bonus from Neheb. Okay, coming in hot for 4. That's going to put them down to 4 more, put them at 18 total commander damage. So next turn, if they don't find an answer for Neheb, we're going to get into spots where we go and close it out, because that'll be commander damage and lethal. And worst comes to worst, we do have Whip of Erebos. So what we can do is we can let, if they get into some sort of destruction spell, we can let Neheb go to the graveyard. And then we're Ancient's Tread. All right, man, fair enough. But yeah, so you end up with some games like this where we kind of just not really locking our opponent out, but we get into spots where they just can't really keep anything in the hand. And let's go ahead and just fire off a Blinding. Why not? Let's have some fun. Actually, we'll just go and swing in. Swing in for 4. They've got 0 cards in hand. Don't want to get too cute over there. But yeah, and then you can close it out with Neheb's little fire stick over there, so definitely enjoy that one. So it's going to be 22 commander damage and put our opponent down to 0. So yeah, the deck's pretty fun. There's different... this is true with most commander decks, but especially with Neheb, it's not the best commander deck, but it's a lot of fun. I've definitely enjoyed it. It's fun getting the Minotaurs up and running. You can get the Tribe Lords up and going with a few of your other creatures in there. But yes, that's it for the video. All right, guys, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks.